Well then, let's take a walk in the bamboo forest and see what we're dealing with here. Yeah, it's a lot here, wouldn't you say?
Welcome to my cluttered garage. You know I'm really glad you're here. Yeah!
Hey, welcome back to the channel. I am really glad you're here because today's video is kind of a viewer request. You know, I've been doing a lot of work with the Baumalight MP348 brush mulcher, and someone in the comments asked me how it would handle bamboo. Well, today we are going to find out. This is our neighbor's property, and this bamboo has been growing for about 20-25 years. Some of this, like this one for instance, is about 1.5 inches in diameter. I can't even touch my thumb and my finger together. That's how big that is. Not to mention it's probably 30 feet tall, maybe longer, and the base is pretty big. Now, if you didn't know it, bamboo is actually a grass. So what does that mean? Well, nothing, it's just a fun fact. My concern is that this stuff is so tall that when I back over it and lay it down, I'm not sure if it's just gonna get so thick that it'll kind of bunch up inside the mulcher. I don't know, and I also don't know how hardy it is or how strong it is when it's green. It's not, you know, when you have an 1.5 inch piece or a 1 inch piece of bamboo, I don't think it's like mowing down a tree because it's hollow in the core, but the outside's pretty strong too. So I don't know, the best thing we can do is just give this a shot and see what happens. Well, we'll just start here on the outer edge. I mean, you can't start in the middle, so we'll start on the outside. We'll just start here on the outside. This is the newer growth, so it's not as thick. It's kind of what I expected back here. It's so tall that the mulcher is just kind of pushing it back. And as it pushes it back, it's cutting it off at the stalk there. But you can see here, it's just bunching up and just kind of creating rows and rows of bamboo. It's not able to knock it down because there's more bamboo behind it. So it can't lay it down. So it's sort of just building up as we go, and then some of it's falling forward, falling on the tractor canopy. So it's you know, it's doing it, but this may not be the best way to do it. I think what I'll do is I'll pull forward and see if that'll let what I've cut fall down, and that'll lay on the ground. Then I can back over the long stalks and see if I can mulch them up that way. think I've been bamboozled. So we're making a very nice path here where you couldn't even walk before. This bamboo is so thick, it's probably at its widest point, maybe 12 to 14 inches apart. So you're kind of squeezing through here, if you can even get through here at all. So we are opening up this path. The problem is exactly what I kind of anticipated, which was that this bamboo is just bunching up and bunching up. It's pushing it back, it's getting thicker and thicker, and it just can't lay down to mulch it up. So I don't think this is the best approach to take this down. Now, I've dealt with some bamboo at my own property years ago. Actually, it was offspring from this bamboo. I transplanted some over at our place, and I thought it was going to be really exciting, but turns out I planted it in the wrong place. You know, what they have here is back along a wood line, so the bamboo is kind of maintained. It doesn't like to grow in the shade, so it's not going to grow into the woods. The yard, as it grows into the yard, you just mow it. It comes up once a year or so. You mow down the little stalks, and that really keeps it under control as well. My problem was I planted it back by the old lean-to, and what I found was the lean-to at the time had a dirt floor, and the rhizome root system was growing under the lean-to, and I had equipment parked in the lean-to on the dirt floor, and there was bamboo coming up in the shed under the equipment, growing through the equipment, and I just had visions of this getting totally out of control. So I started to attack it myself. Did a lot of research because I tried spraying Roundup on it. I tried putting salt on the ground. I tried spraying some vinegar, and nothing worked until I came across the one solution that did work. So if you're dealing with bamboo and you want to get rid of it, the way I found that really works is you have to cut it all down. Cut it all down and then keep an eye on it and go out frequently and cut it, any new growth, all the way to the ground. If you see a new shoot come up, get out there right away and cut it all the way to the ground. And what you do by doing that is you're choking out the root system. It took me like 4 seasons, 3 or 4 summer seasons to get it under control. I'd go out there and honestly in a day I'd see a piece that was 2 feet tall. It got thinner and thinner as time went on, the new growth. But still, I'd see these wispy pieces coming up, and then I would just cut them off. And I kept cutting and cutting every time I saw new growth. Again, it was for 3 or 4 full summer seasons until finally there was no new growth and it choked out the root system. That to me is the only way. Now they say you can dig up the roots, you know, but that's going to make a mess of the area too. So that can work, but choking it out worked for me. But back to this project, I think the best way to make any trails through this would be to go out and cut this one piece at a time. Use a sawzall or a little chainsaw or something. Cut it as low to the ground as you can and just start dragging it out piece by piece and make your trail that way. I don't think this equipment is really the best use of this. Now, if we were taking the entire patch down, you know, you could probably push through it, cut it off, and then grab it with the grapple and move it. So it would work for that. But in this case, when you've got bamboo that's 30 feet tall, 1.5, 2 inches in diameter, it's just not the right piece of equipment for this job. Well, I think that's going to have to do it for today. This was fun. It was a short project because I'm not going to get as far into this as I thought I would. But at least now I know kind of the limitations. It's not a limitation of the equipment. It's really a matter of being the right choice for that equipment. So, well, I'm about done here. So thanks for watching today. I do appreciate it. If you've not yet subscribed to the channel on YouTube or followed on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok, I invite you to join along. Thanks for being here, and as always, I look forward to seeing you next time. I do want to try to show you what we're dealing with here. If I could stand this up, it might give you an idea. Oh. I'll just walk by the camera and you can see how long it is.